Hi, everyone. A few days ago, I was asked to present some of the hottest trends that are happening in the packaging space here in 2024. And I actually put together kind of a top three that I think you'll find interesting. So, this is an entry or intro video. I wanted you to know that I did this on my whiteboard. So, after this video, this is an entry video, but after this, it'll be on a whiteboard, kind of like a Zoom meeting. But I do that so you can see what I'm talking about, emphasize the pictures there, show you what I'm confirming or talking about, and kind of go from there. So, this is an intro video for the three hottest trends in 2024.
Hey, gang, here's another tip, or I guess you could say another example of a hot trend in 2024. This has been around a while, but it seems like just now it's beginning to kind of catch steam. And let's just call this replacing rigid plastic or rigid in general. As you can see on the screen here, these are just some common buckets, whether they're 2.5 gallon buckets and a traditional flexible pouch that actually would hold the same amount of liquid. And this should be very telling when it comes to either your customer or maybe you are the end user looking to do something better for the environment. Now, here's the key thing to keep in mind. And I don't know where this started, but a lot of people assume that a spouted pouch that will compete with this rigid bucket is more expensive, which is nonsense. Okay. Let me just clarify that. You're talking about a $3, $4, $5 bucket. Okay. That takes an awful lot of plastic to create, plastic to make, plastic to ship, store, whatever, recycle, grind back up. And here on the other hand, you've got some, let me see if my cursor's working. You've got flexible pouches here that use about 85% less material, ship flat, store flat, are recyclable. So this is just an example number one, as we call this replace rigid. So I'm going to minimize this. First of all, I'm going to take my notes off the screen here for a second. And I'm going to minimize this and show you a couple other examples of replacing rigid. So here in particular is olive oil. Whoops, sorry. See if I can increase this. This is olive oil. Can you? Darn it. Sorry. I don't know if you can see this olive oil can. I mean, enlarging this on the screen. But the olive oil can is what I want you to see. This is a metal can. This is expensive. This is certainly not very earth friendly. I don't care how recyclable this is, because it takes a lot of time and energy to create, make, ship, store, grind back up, if you will. So I wanted to kind of show you really fast here what I wanted to, what we replaced that with. And let me go back to some more photos to show you. And I'm going to bring in this guy to show you how we were able, so forgive the other pictures. I just wanted to kind of show you this one here. I'm going to continue to focus on this one. So here we replaced that metal container with a flexible, with a pour spout. So here's the real big deal. We were able to save the customer, I don't know, $3, $4 a piece. This is recyclable. They call this their eco bag. You can actually recycle this, can be thrown away, landfill friendly, but this is another example of replacing rigid, getting away from that rigid container and using something that's flexible. So I'm going to try another example and see if you kind of are tracking where I'm going here. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be really big buckets, if you will. Let me show you something else. Here is something that's really been percolating here in the market lately. Is your traditional syrup container, okay? Aunt Jemima, whatever this may be in syrup, okay? So rigid plastic, filled hot. And again, there's a lot of misconception that when you fill syrup or juice, orange juice or whatever it may be, very hot, that an alternative, there is no alternative. And that again is not true. When you're dealing with hot fill plastics, you can really get into some other things that are out there when it comes to plastic, when it comes to types of materials that are out there. So let me show you another example.
I hope you like this content. If you want more of it, I put together a specialized packaging alliance, a group of packaging professionals that are in different facets of this industry. We have webinars, we have meetings. The idea is to share information about this great industry of packaging, whether that be from the sales side of things to the marketing, even to the end users. My point with this is I'd love to have you join us, the Specialized Packaging Alliance. Check out the link below to learn more. Thanks.
And this is just giving you a really good example. This is your classic hand sanitizer. Okay. Now here you've got something that's made out of plastic. You've got something here that's it's flexible. It's, again, compare this to the shampoo bottles in the grocery or in the hotels. Obviously the hand sanitizer, but to be able to get into something here that is not rigid, that uses a tremendous amount less material than something that is rigid, you've got a real game changer here when it comes to being able to give the customer something different. There's margin when you convert from rigid to flexible. There's a tremendous upside when it comes to building customer loyalty. And I think you'll find it's really a game changer to your margins. The final example I wanted to show you here on this one, I think this is really, really cool. Let me eliminate this really fast. Forgive me. Let me get this out of here because I think this is really cool. And I hadn't seen this until we designed it. So anytime you're working out on the lawn, so again, it doesn't have to be a food product, but we've seen this a million times out there when it comes to lawn care, chemicals, pesticides, whatever. Rigid containers, and it's got this fitment apparatus here for a hose or a connecting hose, right? And again, this is one of those things that I've always thought, man, if there was something out there that we could create like this, that would be a game changer. And fortunately, we did. And this is something, if you can see this, where we actually injection molded, if my pen is working here. No, it isn't. Let me go back to my pen. Here, we've got a fitment. This hose or this tube goes in here, connects on the bottom of this, and you can connect your garden hose to this, and it'll shoot out the chemicals and spray your lawn or whatever it may be. This is another very, very clever example of replacing rigid with something flexible. As far as a trend is concerned, these are the kind of things that really build margin. These are the kind of things that really save your customers an awful lot of time and money. And it is something that allows their product to really stand out on a store shelf. And I'm going to show you one more final example here that I thought was really kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, but it's really important. There's a lot of people in that farming business, dairy, and a lot of these things when it comes to big bags. This is a 4-liter bag that goes over to Japan. And I think it's for cow milk or some supplement or something. But this traditionally had been in a rigid container. And when you're dealing with rigid buckets and pails, like I said before, we're talking about $3, $4 easy. Now you've got something here that holds 4 liters of product. 4 liters is a lot. And to be able to have this where now you've got this fitment here that you can see that actually allows that product to go in and then obviously be discharged, you've got a huge opportunity when it comes to having a trend that you can share with a customer. Now, again, you may not have an exact customer right now in this space, but the whole idea with this, salespeople, is to know that it's possible, is to know that you can actually go into a company, or when you're targeting a company that could traditionally be using rigid buckets and pails, you run into an opportunity here to really have a game changer. Okay. So I hope this is helpful. A quick little tip on another hot trend that's out there. We call this replace rigid. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. It's David Marinac. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you want to see more, here's another video that you can check out, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.